Hello, I'm Maria and I'm going to describe my own wedding, although I'll start with my engagement. We first met when I started my training to be a teacher at the primary school where I had studied when I was a child. My husband was working there as a teacher. Our engagement lasted 7 years. After 6 years, we started to plan the wedding. We both agreed that we wanted a traditional white wedding that held in a church. So, firstly, we booked the church where the ceremony would take place 1 year in advance, as well as the venue where later we were going to have the wedding lunch. From this moment we started with all the wedding preparations. We created a list of guests, hired a photographer and videographer, arranged the honeymoon, and finally send out the invitations. Firstly, when everything was ready, we have to take in mind the hen and stag party. We decided to do it together. So 2 days before the wedding, we went out for dinner with close family, with close friends, family, and we have a very good time together. At last, the big day arrived. It's very common in my town, it's very common that the groom goes to the bride's house and accompanies her on her way to the church. So we did it in this way. When we arrived to the church, the organs played the wedding march and the ceremony started. For me, the main moment of this ceremony was when we exchanged the rings and the moment when we were proclaimed husband and wife, and the final kiss as well. As we finished the ceremony, we both signed the marriage registered, and when we came out the church, people were waiting at the church door, and threw rice upon us. Later, all the guests went to a restaurant to have the wedding lunch. When we finished the feast, we drove to the Parador of Jaén, because this was the place where we spent our wedding night. It was, I remember, it was guests' wedding present. This day, about clothes, I remember that I was wearing something borrowed. In my case, the clothes that I borrowed, that I won, was a bridal wedding veil that had been worn by a bride at her happy marriage. And I also wore something blue. I remember the garter. The garter was blue. It's a symbol. It's a symbol of purity and fidelity. After the next day, we have a big lunch with all the family, and the next day we went to Canary Islands on our honeymoon. There we spent one relaxed and peaceful week, and we were on cloud 9. To sum up, I remember this day, the day of my wedding, as one of the most important days in my life. And I enjoy this day quite a lot in spite of having pre-wedding nerves. And that is all.